Hi, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Amber. Today I want to do a little discussion on books that I've given 5 stars to from the start of when I first was using Goodreads, and whether I would still give these books 5 stars or not. Because we're going all the way back to middle school days for me, so this is going to be interesting. So the order of these books are going to be starting with the oldest ones that I have on my Goodreads to the most recent. So the first one I gave 5 stars to was Mockingjay, which is the 3rd book in the Hunger Games series. I don't think I'd quite give that 5 stars anymore if it was today me, but it's still a comfort read for me, so I think I'd probably rate it a 4 star because it's good for what it is. That was my favorite book in the series. I'm pretty sure when I first read that book, I read that in one day. Really enjoyed it. So I'd still give it a 4 stars just for the comfort read aspect. But today me probably wouldn't rate it a 5 star. Next one was Dark Secrets by Elizabeth Chandler, which honestly today me would probably give it a 3.5 stars because again, comfort read, but not my style. It's a YA paranormal romance, I think. I honestly don't remember too much about the story. I remember really liking it when I read it, but again, it is a very young read. So a 3.5, probably a 3. It's good for what it is. And then also it's No Time to Die and The Deep End of Fear, which is also by Elizabeth Chandler. That's in that same series. Again, probably a 3 for the comfort read aspect. It's good for what it is. Next up is Winter Girls by Laurie Halse Anderson. I truly couldn't tell you anything about this book. Not a single thing. I don't even remember reading it. And for that aspect alone, I'm gonna give it a 2.5 probably now. Because at the time, to me, it probably was really good. But me now, probably not my style. Okay, we're backtracking because apparently I didn't add these in the list right. Next is Catching Fire, which is the 2nd book in the Hunger Games series by Susan Collins. Again, probably a 4 star. Still good. I'd probably still enjoy that series to this day. It just wouldn't be a 5 star read for me, but I'd go with a 4. Next up is The Lucky One by Nicholas Sparks. Honestly, I've tried reading Nicholas Sparks recently, and it's just not really my cup of tea anymore, but it used to be. So for the comfort read aspect, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 now. But it wouldn't be a 5 star again. The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, that still would be a 5 star. I'm not kidding you. For probably from 9th grade until, I would say until I was 21 or 22, I legit read that every single fall. I have a very big interest in the Holocaust era, so yeah. I'd still give that 5 stars. And thinking about that makes me want to go grab it and read it again because it's been a couple years since I have read it. Next up is Ruined by Paula Morris. I read that book at least 4 or 5 times that I can remember. It is a YA paranormal romance. Still to this day, I genuinely would probably give it 5 stars. Yeah. I really enjoyed that book. I think it's well written. I liked the plot, the storyline. It's based in New Orleans at the Lafayette Cemetery. Love that book still to this day. Probably would still give it a 5 star. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. It wouldn't be a 5 star now. It was a good book at the time, but I wouldn't rate it 5 stars. I don't know what I'd rate it now. Next is 50 Shades Free by E.L. James. No. I don't know why I ever gave it 5 stars. That is a series that I have no interest ever going back and reading. Yeah, I don't even want to comment on a rating for that. It's just not it. Prisoner B 3087 by Alan Gratz, however you say that. Yeah, I'd probably still give that a 5 star. Again, it's another Holocaust story. Really enjoyed it. Super well written. Made me cry like multiple times. Probably still would give that a 5 star. Really good. Next is Kissed by an Angel, The Power of Love Soulmates, which is again still in that same like paranormal YA series by Elizabeth Chandler that we were talking about earlier. Again, comfort read, probably like a 3 star. Wouldn't be my cup of tea. Then we have Evercrossed, which is, I believe, the final one. Again, by Elizabeth Chandler. But again, probably wouldn't give that one 5 stars. Probably like a 3 again. Then we have Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I always put an S at the end of that. That is a huge comfort read for me. Again, that was like a go-to fall read every single year for like 4 or 5 years straight. I'd probably still give it a 4 star. I still sometimes get the urge to go back and read that series, so. Then we have Eclipse, which is the 3rd one in the Twilight series. Again, probably like a 4 star. Really enjoyed that one. Then we have Breaking Dawn, which is the 4th and final book in the Twilight saga. That one would probably get like I don't think it'd be quite a 5 star now. I think it'd be like a 4.5 star though, because that was my favorite one in the whole entire series. Really enjoyed it. Yeah. Then we have Unbroken by Paula Morris, which is the 2nd in the Rune series, which is that paranormal romance YA that's set in like New Orleans. I don't think I'd give that one 5 stars again. That one would probably get like a 3.5. I really didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the first one. It's not one that I'd probably ever go back and read, but it was good for what it was. The next one is Grey by E.L. James, which is like from Christian Grey's point of view from 50 Shades of Grey. No, I would not give that 5 stars again. I don't even remember finishing that book. I didn't think that I did, but next is Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. That one is a series of, I believe, like short poems. I'd still give that 5 stars. I really enjoyed that. It's a pretty short read. I don't typically read poems, but I did really enjoy that one. Next, we have Cinder, which is the 1st in the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. Yes, I'd still give that 5 stars. I have read that, I think, 3 times now, that whole entire series. I really enjoy it. If you haven't picked anything up by Marissa Meyer, I definitely recommend it. It's like each one is like a fairy tale retelling, but set in like a futuristic society. I don't know how to describe it, but it is really good. Really enjoyable. I love her writing. I actually want to go into the, what is that series? It has like Renegades. I think one of the books is called like Supernova or something. It's like I think it's a trilogy. I want to read that by her. I love that series. And I still would love that series. And I still have debated on going back. That's actually one of the series that I reread like a year, 2 years ago, that got me back into reading again. It's like I read that right before I read ACOTAR, but it was like a reread for me, so it kind of got me like back into reading. Next is Heir of Fire, which is the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Yeah, I'd still give that a 5 star. That was one of my favorite out of the whole entire series. Loved it. Yeah, would still give that 5 stars. Next is Queen of Shadows, which is the 4th one in the Throne of Glass series. Again, yes, still 5 stars. I think I liked that one a little bit better than I liked Heir of Fire. Next one is Empire Storms, which is the 5th one in the Throne of Glass series? Yes, 100%. Still 5 stars. That one was, I remember at the time, my absolute favorite out of the whole series. I think it still might be my favorite out of the series. I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was really good. A lot going on in it. A lot gets explained in it. Yes, still 5 stars. Next, we have Their Vicious Darlings, which is the Vicious Lost Boys series by Nikki St. Crow, which is a, like, spicy reverse harem Peter Pan retelling. Yes. Yes. Still 5 stars. Next, we have The Queen of Nothing, which is the 3rd book in the Folk of the Air trilogy by Holly Black. Yes, I'd still give that a 5 star. That was my favorite one out of that whole entire trilogy. Yes. Next, we have A Forbidden Fate by Kaven Herning. Yes, I'd still give that 5 stars. Really good. I believe that was her debut novel, which is like a series. I think she's working on the final book right now. I want to say I saw that she said it's going to be out next year. But yes, I'd still give that 5 stars. If you haven't picked that up, I highly recommend it. It's a romantasy series, and it is very well written. I loved all the characters. Each one of them has like such a big personality that's so different from the others. I really enjoyed it. Oh, and they also can't touch or else they'll die, the 2 main characters, so. Need I say more? No. Autumn of the Grimoire by J.L. Vampa. I don't know if I'd really give that book 5 stars still. I think that was more of like a 4.2, maybe 4.5. I really enjoyed it, but I haven't really had the urge to like continue with the series either though. I enjoyed the book for what it was. I just don't know if I want to continue the rest of it. But it feels so weird giving a book like above a 4 star but then saying that I'm not going to continue it. It's not that I'm not going to continue it. There's so many series that I'm in the middle of. I haven't really like got the pull or the want to go read it. But it is a good book. I know that one's Kindle Unlimited. It's perfect for like the autumn season. So if you're still looking for autumn books, I recommend that. It's a romantasy, super enjoyable. I think they're witches. I'm pretty sure they're witches. Yeah, they're witches. Anyway, really good. I do recommend that one. Just wouldn't give it 5 stars again. Heartsworn, which is the 1st book in the Hellhind Wood, which is by Sia Petrichor. Again, I don't think I'd give this quite 5 stars. Probably like a 4.5. I really enjoyed it. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but with spice. Very good. Really liked it. Just don't think it was quite that 5-star mark for me. Next up is A Kingdom of Blood and Betrayal, which is the 2nd book in the Stars and Shadows series by Holly Renee. Yeah, I'd still give that 5 stars. It was my favorite one in the series. The series ended up dropping off for me. I wasn't interested by the time I got to the 4th book, which I think that's mainly from just like taking such a long break. I couldn't really remember what happened. They weren't focusing on the main characters anymore, which was like both a good and a bad thing. Yeah. I'd still give that one a 5 stars, though. I did really enjoy that. From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. No, I wouldn't give that 5 stars anymore. I'd give that like a 3.5. It had so much potential, in my opinion. Like, it just had so much potential. But it just fell so flat for me. The writing was kind of all over the place. Like, when it was good, it was good. But there's so much added stuff that's so unnecessary that makes the book so long. It seriously feels way too long. It's just so hard to get through because of how long, like, and it's not just that book. It's every single book in that series is just so much additive. Still love Castile. I'm listening to the 4th and final book, the audio book, for the sole purpose of Castile. I don't care about anything else that's going on, honestly, and it's taking me a very long time to get through that. So no, I wouldn't give it 5 stars. I'd give it like a 3.5. It has so much potential. The plot line is there. I'm gonna move on now. The Naughty List by Ellie Mae McGregor. I don't think I'd give this 5 stars. I'd probably give it like a 4, 4.5. It's like a short, spicy Christmas book. It's a very quick read. It is good for what it is. I wouldn't give it 5 stars. Like a 4.5. Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, no. I'd give it a 4-star. It was my favorite one in the series. I'd give it a 3.75. Not a 4. It's just, I can't. Next up is A Court of Mist and Fury, which is the second one in A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Yes, it still gets 5 stars. It will always get 5 stars for me. Probably my favorite in the whole series. I don't know, though, because I did also really enjoy A Court of Wings and Ruin. But yes, it still gets 5 stars. Still holds up to that. Next up is A Court of Wings and Ruin. Yes, still gets 5 stars. That is the third book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. Kingdom of Ash, which is the 7th and final book in the Throne of Glass series. Yes, it still gets 5 stars. Yes, still gets 5 stars. Next up is The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which is the first book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series by Chris Broadbent. Yes, that still gets 5 stars. I didn't really care for the second one. I didn't mind it. It's just I definitely lost interest part of the way through. But yes, that still gets 5 stars. Okay, next up is Scorch Roses, which is like the novella for the Crowns of Nyaxia series by Chris Broadbent. Yes, it still gets 5 stars. I think that was probably my favorite one. I don't think I've ever had a novella in a series that has been my favorite out of the whole thing, but this one was. It's honestly impressive how well Chris Broadbent did at getting you like attached and actually caring about the two main characters. The novella is only like 200 pages long, if even. I don't even know if it's quite that. I genuinely think I cared more about those two main characters' relationship than I did the two main characters in The Serpent and the Wings of Night. So, yes, that still gets 5 stars. Next up is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Yes, I'd still get that 5 stars. Yeah. I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was just a tiny bit longer than it needed to be, but it kept me interested. I love the two main characters' banter and chemistry. The plot of it I really enjoyed. Overall, I just really liked the story. Next up, Once Upon a Broken Heart. Yes, that's the first one in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. Yes, it'll always get 5 stars. I loved it. I just finished A Curse for True Love not that long ago, and I want to go back and read all 3 of them again. I love that world. I love those characters. I love everything about it. Stephanie Garber's writing is probably my favorite writing out of any books that I've ever read. She just makes her worlds feel so unique and interesting and immersive. Easily my favorite series of all time. Absolutely loved it. The Ballad of Never After, which is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Yes, that is like a 6-star read for me. Yes. Favorite one out of the series. Absolutely loved it. Yes. Still 5 stars. More than 5 stars if we were going there. Love it. All-time favorite book. Next up is Twisted Games, which is the second book in the Twisted series by Anna Huang. Yes. Still 5 stars. Reese Larson is everything. I did not like the first book. The writing is good. The main male character ruined the whole thing for me. I did not like him. But the second one in the series saved it, which they're standalone books. They're like intertwined in the same world with like the characters are all in each story, but each story focuses on a different couple. So you really don't have to read the first one if you don't want to. I mean, it gives a slight background, but I wouldn't say like enough to where you need to read it. So if you want to just skip that one, you can go right into the second one, and yes, 5 stars. Next one is Divine Rivals, which is the first book in the Letters of Enchantment series by Rebecca Ross. Yes, a million times yes. Loved that book. Can't wait for the next one to come out. Yes, 5 stars. Next up is A Curse for True Love, which is the final book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. Yes, 5 stars. Every single book in that series gets 5 stars from me. Yes. I guess that was all the 5 stars I thought I still had one more. But yes, most of them still hold true. A couple of them don't. I apologize if at any point in this my kids were too loud. Let me know if any of these books you guys have read and have also gave 5 stars. If there were some that I gave 5 stars that you didn't really care for, let me know. I'm interested to see how your guys' reading interests match up with mine. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you've made it this far, please leave a thumbs up on this video and make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with all my future videos. And I hope to see you in the next one.